Okay, good morning and welcome to today's webinar. In today's webinar we will concentrate on the admin console, the web restores and support portal. Okay, so we'll begin there now. Okay, so an introduction. My name is Niall Fahy. I am the EMEA Technical Educational Specialist here at Mozy. I train both our internal teams, our support agents, and external partners and customers. Just an overview of what we'll be covering today. So Mozy Pro is designed for business users so they can manage their backups and data from the web. This webinar will cover the admin console and just some basic features within the admin console, web restores and the web restore window, and just some basic functions inside that. And then we'll cover the support portal. So just some definitions, just in case for anybody who's not familiar with them. In terms of the admin console, the administrator is the person to whom the Mozy Pro account is assigned, or someone designated to manage the account by the account owner. A user is someone that is assigned to manage a machine only that is being backed up by Mozy Pro. Your resources are the licenses, storage quota, and the machines that are used by Mozy Pro. In terms of license types, so we have two license types with Mozy Pro: desktop licenses and server licenses. Desktop licenses are designed for the desktop and laptop computers, and just basically for mostly just backing up office documents, pictures, media files, etc. A desktop license won't install on a server operating system. A server license is designed for server operating systems, but it can also run on a desktop computer as well. And you can use this for backing up network shares and network applications. So logging into the Mozy Pro admin console. So to access the Mozy Pro admin console, you can browse to the following web addresses. So secure.mozy.com/login, mozy.com/login, or mozypro.com/login, and both of which will redirect you to the mozy.com login. Only an admin can access the admin console. You can have more than one administrator per account. So if you wanted to create sub-administrators, they can also access through the admin console. General users won't be able to access the main administration console. What can the admin console do? So the admin console has many features and is quite powerful. Some of the things you can do with it is purchase resources, create and manage groups of users and machines, create and manage administrators, transfer resources between groups and users, create reports of backups usage, etc., and restore users' files. And there's a few other options within there that I will cover. We'll have a browse through when we're going through the example at the end of the slide deck. What can be done within the web restore window? So the web restore function again has a few different functions. Some of the main restore features you can perform are direct downloads of individual files or groups of files, archive package restores, whereby you can create an archive package which will give you download links, or you can use DVD restores. So the support portal, So the support portal can be accessed by browsing to support.mozy.com, and you just click the login button in the top right corner of the page. Okay, and what can you do in the support portal? The support portal allows you to open a support case, review existing cases, and obtain support ID to call support. So we'll go through a demonstration of the administration console now. So for the administration console, you're coming to secure.mozy.com/login. Okay, so I'm just going through an example here on the admin console and some of the features that you can use within that. Okay, so for this example, I'm logged into my own Mozy Pro admin console. So as you can see here, it's Mozy Support Education. Okay, so from within here, you see you can search list users. This will allow you to search through your users that are within your account as an administrator. You can see from here, if you click on a user, you can get information on them in terms of how much quota they have, when was the last time they backed up, their license key. You can get their backup history. You can also change the user's password if you wish, or change their user email address, or you can change their user group from here. Okay. In terms of search list machines, it'll do the same thing as list users, but it will search machine names. So you'll get, first off, you'll get the machine name and then the user email address. And the user group will also be shown from here. And again, once you open up the machine, you have the restore history, but you've less options than you would do if you search list user. Okay. From here, you can also add new users. So you fill in their name, their email address that you wish to assign a key to, and then you pick the server license key or desktop license key and the required quota. You can also search the user groups. So in this example, I have just the one user group active. If I open that user group, I can see in here I have available keys and how much available quota I have. I have an option for default quota for new installs and also for server. You see here what users are under it, what keys I have available for this user group, the administrators on it, and if there's any client configurations I have set up for them. You can also from here add a new user group. Here you fill out the name of the user group you wanted. If in this sense, we'll put in here example. And if you want to, how much default storage you want for your server license and your desktop license. This will, by doing it this way, once you select a user within a user group, they'll automatically be assigned. If you assign a license key from that user group, they'll be automatically assigned a set amount. For example, if you wanted for your finance group only to have 5 gigabytes of desktop quota, then you could assign that there when you add the new user group. Therefore, going forward, every license key that's assigned from that user group for desktop will have 5 gigabytes. In terms of admins, you can search here. You can list your admins if you've added additional administrators to your admin console. Here, I don't have any sub administrators under my own, but you can add a new admin from here. And if anybody wants me to go into more detail on this, I will go through it, the question and answer session at the end. That way we can just keep moving along. Is everybody okay with the audio? Okay, I'll just keep. Okay, I'll move on. Thank you. Okay, so as I said, if anybody wants me to go into further detail on the admin console or adding administrators or anything like that at the question and answer session at the end, I'll be more than happy to go through it. Here I'm just going to give you a brief look at each part so that we can cover the web restore window and also the support portal before the Q&A session. Okay, so here, as I said, you can add an admin, select who the parent admin is, what user groups you want them to control, and the roles. So roles, this is where all the power is given within your administration console. You can give as many controls as you would like to a sub-administrator, and you can also restrict them. So I'll just open up one here, for example. So as you can see here, I can select certain options within this role window to allow my sub-admin see only the things I want them to be able to see. So in here you could realistically you could limit a sub-administrator to just being in control of one particular user group. So if, again, for example, if you had assigned for your finance user group, you wanted one person to look after the users within that user group, you could create a sub-administration role whereby that person would only be able to see that user group, and they would only be able to perform certain tasks within the administration console. And all it will do is, for roles, it will literally just take out options from the left-hand pane here, options that you don't assign. So you can, all it will do is just, it'll shorten the menu items. It's straightforward enough. They are where all the power is within the admin console in the roles. Again, if somebody wants me to delve into them deeper or explain more, has more of a specific question on them, we can come back to it in the Q&A. In terms of client configuration, here you can create a configuration for particular user groups. If you want to limit users to certain things to back up, you can create training, or you can create a specific client configuration. Once you click the create client configuration, you will be brought to this window. From here, you will have options for preferences. You can select settings for different options within the client, selecting certain options and deselecting other ones for whichever suits your organization. So if you want to tie down to an exact limit to what people can and can't back up, you can do it within here. And again, if anybody has a specific question on that, we can come back and I can cover it with an example. Resources, you're able to purchase resources. You can see your billing history from here. You can assign keys. You can transfer resources under resources. So if you want to purchase keys, you come in here, you fill out, you submit. For assigning keys, you search, you have your keys here. You fill in your email address. So and then all you do is assign it. If you just assign it without ticking the box, the key just gets assigned, and you will have to manually give the license key to the user. If you tick the option to send emails and click assign, it'll send that user the license key and a link to download the client. Okay. You can also transfer resources. So if you have if you've purchased quota for a particular user group, you can select the user group and you can transfer to your other user group if you need, rather than purchasing more quota or storage for that particular user group. You can transfer between the two. Okay, so that's some basic features on the admin console. Again, any specific questions on things within the admin console can be asked at the end, and I can go through them for you. Okay, so just to go through the web restore window. Okay, so I'll open up my own training account here. I'm clicking Restore Files. So this is our web interface as it stands now. Okay, so initially you're brought to your dashboard. From here you have profile information, so your name, your email address, what devices you have on your account. So if, for example, you have 2 or 3 machines under the one email address, they will all come up under here, whereas previously you would have had to click on individual restore windows for each individual machine. Now you can see all the machines under your one email address in the one restore window. So from here again, so you're seeing your devices, your download history, your preferences, and any notifications you have left or you have received. So in terms of download history, I haven't created any restores yet, but this will give you an in-depth history of all the restores that are created within your restore window. So that being direct download, an archive package, DV restore, everything is recorded so that you have at all times you can see any action that's going on within your web restore window. Notifications, if there's anything goes wrong with your web restore or anything like that and you get any error messages, they come up here within notifications. So, and again up here you can also go to the notifications download history pages from anywhere within the restore interface. Searching for files, you can select which machine you want to search. You can type in the particular file you're looking for in the particular machine and search for it that way. It'll also remember some recent searches. So if you've been searching for a particular file and you log out and you come back in, you click up here again, it'll save some of your recent searches. The emergency restore it's basically for if your current laptop or computer dies and you want to replace all the files you had backed up onto your new machine. An emergency restore is basically restoring all your files. So it'll open up a wizard. It'll tell you you've started an emergency restore and which files you want to select. So it'll give you a warning if you don't need to restore all files backed up from the device you choose. Click cancel, and it'll give you the options you have. It warns you that way so that it avoids you downloading all your files if you don't need all your files. If you're only looking for particular files and folders, you're better off using the other options. So if you do want to, you click yes. You select your device that you want to restore from. Click next. Then you can create a name for the restore. So we'll just put in here test. Click next. It then asks you what date you want to restore from. So if your laptop decided that it was giving up the good fight on the 8th, you might want to restore from the 7th. So you can select the 7th, hit next. It asks you here, would you like to include deleted files? So deleted files these are files that were deselected for backup. So they were by you or they were removed from your machine. So say for example, I have my resume on my desktop and it's being backed up and it's being backed up and it's being backed up every day. And then one day I decide, actually, do you know what? I'm going to throw that resume in the bin because it's an old one, and I put it in the bin and it gets deleted from my machine. At that point, it's marked on our servers that it's not there any longer, it's not being selected for backup any longer. So that file then is just marked on our servers and it's kept then for 30 days before we then fully delete it from our servers. We do this in case it's a mistake that you deselected the file or you moved it somewhere else and it wasn't selected anymore, and this is just to make sure that any accidental deletions on your machine are not removed from our servers directly. So when it asks you here, do you want to include deleted files, it means those kind of files that you no longer were selecting for backup, but they're within the 30-day window. So you can just, if you don't need those files, you don't need to click it, but if you do, you just include deleted files, you hit next. So it gives you the, it asks you how you would like to receive your files. You select your option, hit next, and then the final step is it'll tell you that it's ready to download. From here, it'll then give you the option to download the Mozy Restore Manager. So this is basically works, if people are familiar with Mozilla Firefox. Firefox has a built-in download manager whereby you can queue downloads. So if you've a couple of files that you need to download at the same time, and you don't want to be waiting around for one to finish, so you can click on the link for the next one. You can click each link, it queues them into a system, it queues them into the Restore Manager, and it just restores the files as it goes along, and it doesn't need any more interaction from yourself. So that's what the Mozy Restore Manager does also. You download it and install it, and then you run your restore package, and basically all that does is it just queues all the files that need to be restored, and it goes through them so that you're not clicking and downloading each individual file like the way you would if you had a Word document attached to an email you might have sent. Okay, so you can, and if you have downloaded the Restore Manager previously, it will let you know. Okay, we see, and it does that by interacting with the cookies on your web interface. So it'll say, okay, we have downloaded the Restore Manager previously, we don't need to do it again, but you still have the option to. Okay, so that's the emergency restore. It's only for if you need to restore every single file on your machine. If you don't, you can come in here to your devices, you can select your machine, you can go through your C drive, you can select your individual files or folders, and again you have the option here, the emergency restore, and that'll restore all your files. Again, if you wanted to, if at the moment it will show the latest backup. If you want to change your date, you just click there, that'll change your date for you, and you can select whatever date you want to restore from. And again, these deleted files, which are on our server still, you can include them as well if you wanted to. So you can select here your folder, so my word processing documents. What I can do is I can download now, so you can do a direct download, or hit more download options and I can create an archive restore, or I can do a Mozy Restore Manager restore. Okay, so again, I'm going to be brief on this. If you want any other additional questions on it, we'll cover them there in the Q&A at the end. Okay, if you want to show details of the folder, so it'll tell me the name of the folder, it's a backup set, how many files are within it, what the size of the folder is, the device it came off of. Okay, and again, whereas previously you had separate backup sets, tabs, and file tabs, no, it's all within the PC, your machine, your device. You can select your backup sets from here, and you can select your files and folders from here. Okay, so that's just a quick overview of the new restore window. I will move on now to the support portal. If there's any questions at the end for the restore window, just let me know. Okay, so the support portal is support.mozy.com. So from here, all you're doing is logging in. Okay. Again, you want to use your administrator login. And this brings me into my support window. Okay, so if I scroll down, so from here you can see you have the community still, and you have documentation, and it looks the same as the previous window when we went to support.mozy.com. But here you can see there's an additional tab for My Cases, and down here you can see in your case management you can also select My Cases, or you can submit a case. You can also chat live by just clicking on that button, and that'll take you to the live chat with our support agents, or it'll also display that your call, the phone number that you can call for technical support. When you dial this number for technical support, you will be asked for your support ID, and that's given to you here. So that's your support ID. It will request from you, and that's where you can retrieve it from. Okay. If you click on My Cases, here it lists you, as you see, as this is a training account, I've never submitted a case, but if I did, it would list the cases under here. It would give me the case number, the subject, its full name, the impacted user, and the created date. But from here I can see I have machines. If you click on your machine, it'll give you machine details, and this is probably the fastest way to create a new case for a particular machine. If you click on the machine that's affected, click on New Case, and from here, what you're asking, what you need to submit is a case reason. So you need to pick the one that most closely associates with your issue. If you have a particular phone number you want to be contacted on, so for example, if it's different to the one that's listed within your sign up, say if you have a particular IT person that's going to be dealing with this case, then you can put in the phone number here. The status you don't need to change because it's a new case. Just put in the subject. So for example, I'm having a restore. If the subject is a restore issue, your description is that you're attempting to restore and you can't pull up the restore window. So it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to stand over it. It's straightforward enough. If you have any log files to attach, you just click submit and add attachment, and that'll take you to the next window where you can browse the files that you need to add to the case. And then all you're doing is clicking submit, and that will open a case within our support organization here, and you will be replied to. Okay, so it's straightforward enough. And again, from here, if you want to submit a case, it's the same thing. It brings you to the same area, and you can just fill in your details, and so far so forth.